understand, okay, because if you look into when come to algorithmic trading, right? Anything that is involved with algo, it is required consistent monitoring of the market situation. This kind of algorithmic that is involved bots, right? There is no such thing as a fixed method of tradings and so on. It has to be continuously fine-tuned with the market. So it is not easy, to be able to actually provide this kind of solution. That is the reason why a lot of the algorithmic bot outside there, right? You can see that it doesn't work. It may work for certain season or for certain market trend. So they may tell you that if you want to buy this bot, okay, this bot will only trade during the bull market. Or if you buy this bot will only trade for the uptrend, downtrend, right? So they specify that because it is not easy to get a bot that can run both the bull and the bear market. All right, where the bot can take uptrend, downtrend, and so on, right? But what we are building here at JDXBOT, we want to make sure this bot is adapting to all kinds of market situation. All right, so that's the reason why if you have been with us from the beta testing, you might have seen, okay, I think we have seen price at $15,000, and today Bitcoin price is already hitting all-time high, right? We are now about 111,000 over. Because can you just imagine that, right? Just in 2 years, right? We have seen a price fluctuation, and despite this price fluctuation, right? We have been continuously adapting to the market. So I think the 2 years data and the 2 years hands-on experience we have in the market, it is really valuable, right? So that actually teaches a lot. Even our technical team teaches a lot how to basically adapt the trading strategies, the algorithm, to the different market situation, and yet don't get liquidated. That is the most important thing, right? So please understand, some people like, oh, if the Bitcoin price goes up, it will never come down. If it comes down, it will never go up. There is no such things when it comes to Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin doesn't care. All right, so it can be 111,000. So what? Tomorrow it can even drop to 50,000. All right, so you have to be very careful, okay, not to take a lot of this narrative from the institution, because institution is now. Please understand, okay, if you are hearing the institution coming in and asking you buy now or else you're going to miss out, don't fall to the trap. Why they want you to buy now is that they want the latecomers to come and buy so that they can bring in the liquidity, and this institution, they are called the smart money. They are now waiting to offload, okay? They might be waiting to sell their Bitcoin to take profit. So you have to be very careful. So we don't know, right? Within the next few days or few weeks, you can see a massive dump taking place. So if you are going in now and buying Bitcoin and thinking that you're going to hold, you're going to probably mistaken, the institutionalized strategy to actually exit the market. So please be very careful. Yes, it's true. A lot of the ETF are coming in. They are buying Bitcoin. A lot of institutions are buying Bitcoin. But at the end of it, please understand that they are not buying to hodl. They are not buying to keep. There is no such thing as store of value anymore for Bitcoin. All right. They are basically buying to make profit. So, but the retails, okay, or people like you and me, we are thinking that I want to buy and hold this, and not understanding that, Bitcoin is no longer the concept of the store of value, right? So this is I think it's an important insight our team, especially the JD Wealth Maker community, must understand. Okay, must understand if you are going to be part of this industry. So that is the reason why JDXBOT adopted both the stable coin and Bitcoin, right? So we have USDT, USDC, and then we got Bitcoin, all right? So you can earn USDT, USDC, and Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin price goes up, you can actually convert your Bitcoin to any of the stable coin. And if Bitcoin comes down, you can then convert your stable coin to acquire Bitcoin. Can you see that? So these are the strategies that you need to hold. So you need both of these assets, all right? And we also actually put two stable coin, right? We got USDT, Tether, and USDC Circle. Why? Tether is outside of US. Circle is within US. All right. So there is always a regulatory framework. They can be risk at any time. So if in the event USDT has a problem, then we can actually use USDC. But also please understand that USDC liquidity, USDT liquidity, and BTC liquidities are different. So that's the reason why you may not see all the bots are open at the same time. Sometimes the bot even closes at a different time. Why? The liquidity are different. All right, the liquidity momentum that is caused by the liquidity are different. So some of the important thing about the crypto space is the liquidity. All right, it's all about the liquidity grab. So the more liquidity there are in the market makers are looking for the liquidity. So the exchanges are looking for the liquidity. So that is basically, the game plan. Okay, the game plan. If you really see what is happening in the market itself. Okay, so this is something that you have to be aware. Okay, and a lot of the people who are coming into crypto, they don't really understand. So, but what we want to really build a bot that we don't really have to worry about the price. Okay, price can go up, price can come down. There is a DCA going on, there is a hedging going on. Your positions are protected. You cannot get liquidated. While even it is floating, we want to see if we can take profit and so on, right? So there are some good news probably will be coming out very, very soon, because I'm looking at ways how we can even tackle the recent glitches, right? Whereby we are talking about some compensation and so on. So we are looking at ways, how we can do something with the bot, whereby from the bot performance itself, right, our user will start to see a much greater profitability and so on. So we will keep you updated, with those things, and also please understand, as I mentioned to you, right, so you got 3 different bots over there. And sometimes, like example, like now, I think for the past 1 week, we have been doing maintenance for the BTC, right? After the glitches, I think we had a funding and the bot, when the bot closes, we have an issue with the conversion because BTC is using a BTC value, right? Not USDT. We need to convert that in real time to USD value, right? So because of that, we are taking some time. So that's why it's good to have 3 different strategies, whereby even if BTC is under maintenance, BTC bot is under maintenance, you are still making money from USDT and USDC. Can you see that? So that is the reason why, right? Some people ask me, why do you have 3 bots? Why don't you just focus on 1 bot? You need to have, if you have multiple bots, then you can diversify. All right. So I think this is quite critical. So that's the reason why don't just acquire 1 bot, because if you acquire 1 bot, and if that bot has no liquidity, there is no movement in the market, and sometimes if there is maintenance going on, your bot will be idle. You might not see any results, right? Okay, so these are some of the important things that you might need to, consider, when you are coming on board. Okay, so I hope that gives you some general idea, right, about the condition of this crypto space itself, because we are seeing the institutions are coming in, governments are coming in, nations are coming in. The only beauty about Bitcoin is that no matter who is coming in, the supply doesn't change. All right, there's only 21 million that can ever exist. All right, so and because of that, there is no way, right, that they can manipulate the supply of Bitcoin. If you look into the fiat, they can keep printing US dollar, right? But it doesn't happen in Bitcoin. You can't be printing US dollar. You can't be printing Bitcoin. Okay, it is a definite protocol, and there can only be, at the moment, right, there can only be 3.125 BTC every 10 minutes. That is it. So no one can go and actually increase the supply of Bitcoin. Okay, so the only thing that can happen now is a supply shock, whereby there is no enough Bitcoin in the market for this institution. So in that way, right, the price is controlled. So no one can actually go and manipulate the price of Bitcoin itself. So although the demand is huge, that doesn't mean the price of Bitcoin can go to $1 million. It doesn't happen in that way, right? So this is, I think, important understanding about a Bitcoin protocol, because Bitcoin is completely different. All right, so Bitcoin is a computing power. All right, so that is what makes Bitcoins completely different. Okay, so thank goodness, okay, we have this control. But I believe one day, right, I'm going to talk about the future of Bitcoin. Okay, because I think this is another big topic, because people think that Bitcoin will be there forever, and Bitcoin is the answer for the future. You will be shocked to know that, what will be the next coin or the next technology that can actually take over Bitcoin. All right, and that can be very frightening to know. With this AI era that we are entering in, things can change. Okay, high likely Bitcoin may not be the leading. Will not be what it is used to be, or Bitcoin will not provide those kind of technology for the future, right? Because it can be completely different. So we might have other coins that will be actually taking over Bitcoin. And also the future of Bitcoin, what will be the price? Some people are saying that Bitcoin can go to $1 million and so on. So all this scenario, right, and all these predictions that are taking place, we need to know exactly, what is going to happen in the future. That's the reason why I used to be a pro Bitcoin. But after the ETF, where institution comes in, I am no longer a pro Bitcoin. So now I adopt both a stable coin and Bitcoin as my strategy, because I no longer see Bitcoin, as what it is supposed to be when the institutions are already in. And the more those who hold the most Bitcoin can actually control the price of Bitcoin. All right, so it is no longer a decentralized. It is now becoming more and more a centralized solution, a centralized technology. Okay, so those who acquire the biggest amount of Bitcoin, they probably will be able to control, so they can move the price of Bitcoin wherever they want to. All right, so that's the reason why I don't really find Bitcoin fascinating anymore. All right, although yes, Bitcoin price is going up, it is now about 111,000, but I don't see it fascinating anymore, because the nature of Bitcoin is no longer what it's supposed to be. All right, so this is something that is important, okay? Because Bitcoin is now no longer P2P, right? Because it's now is a P2B, B2B, B2C, C2B, all right? So business to business, business to consumer, and so on, right? So the whole nature of Bitcoin is no longer as what it is originally in the white paper, okay? So these are just to give you some idea, all right? Because I've been in the market, in the crypto space since 2009, all right? I remember at that point, Bitcoin was only $300. All right. So just imagine, right? From a $300 perspective, you are now at about 111,000. All right. So that is like 12 years, right? 12 years or 11 years, looking at, maybe 13 to 14 years, right? Looking at the whole journey of this Bitcoin, right? So we know a lot of different things that are taking place. And I want to also warn the team to be very careful, okay? All right, let's just get started. I appreciate all of you for being here. All right, let's just get started. I trust that you are blessed with that introduction. We have not started yet. All right, so please put up in the chat room if you are blessed. Let's get going. Okay, all right, that's good. Let me just get going. I want to try to finish this a bit faster today. All right, so let's see if we can do that. All right. Okay, great. Okay, guys. First of all, I would like to say thank you so much to each and every one of you for taking the time, right, to be here for the AMA session. Now, as I always mention, right, if you are our existing JDXBOT, it is always good for you to be part of the AMA session, because AMA session is a special session I created. It's a session called Ask Me Anything session. So we make this section possible because not only I want the team, I want the people to become part of JDXBOT, but I also want to make sure you understand the technical aspects of JDXBOT. All right, so see, please understand, risk is an absence of knowing. Not knowing what you are getting involved is risk. All right. Now, you can get involved without knowing is fine. But once you get involved, you have to get to know. That is important. Okay. But some people, they get involved and they never take interest. They don't want to understand. They don't even allocate their time to come to this Zoom meeting. Even if I put the recording, they don't even watch the recording. Can you just imagine that? And then they don't know what is happening. And then when things goes wrong, they're asking all kinds of questions, right? So this is the, I hope we don't have this kind of generation or this kind of people, with this kind of attitude in our community. All right, because a lot of the thing that we are sharing here, you won't find it anywhere else. And please understand, with my stature, right, in the industry and with what I'm doing, I do not need to do this for the team. Okay, but if I'm doing this, that simply means I value our partnership and I want to give you, this information, this insight to educate you, to empower you so that you can become better in this field and you could probably be ahead of so many people. All right. So that is why I'm doing this AMA session. Okay. So AMA session happen every 2 weeks once. Okay. So but our Tuesday session, which is the business presentation, happens every week. So everyone that you bring in, right, you can actually ask them to come and join the AMA session. And this is the time for them to ask any questions and so on. So use this opportunity, maximize your learning, all right, through this AMA session. That will be awesome. Okay. So as usual, I will do a presentation because at AMA session, I want to keep you updated with some changes that we are doing, with some important information about the market. And thereafter, you are free to ask any question related to the technicality of it. Okay. So that will be awesome. All right. So, so what we're going to do today is simple. All right. I want to quickly go through the market outlook. Strategy subscription renewal. I want to give an update on this because a lot of our first year, right, already ending. I think a lot of our users are actually already receiving email, to renew their subscription. But I'm going to share with you, those of you who are new, what is basically the standard, the standard notification email that you will be receiving and all those things so that you know exactly how the standard or how the system works, okay? And then I want to give an update on the position ratio and estimate liquidation price control because after the recent technical glitch, we have done some improvement to the position ratio control and also to the estimate liquidation because, as you know, right, my priority number one is to safeguard users' position. All right, so from the strategy perspective, we don't have any problem. All right, but from the technical glitches, sometimes we are not aware of what is going to come, okay, in the future. We are not aware because we are the first one that is pioneering a crypto-algorithmic trading that is using 100% our own sole proprietary technology that we are building in-house. All right, so we are just basically discovering as we go along the way. Okay, so please understand that. So let me quickly get to the market first, just to look quickly into the market. I don't want to go too detailed because I don't see there is much relevance because none of you are actually doing manual trading. Everything is done by the bot. So there is no necessity for you to know. And I want to build a bot that we do not need to really worry about the price. Okay, one day we don't even worry what happened with Bitcoin price. We just enjoy the profit that is coming in and we don't care if the price goes up or goes down, right? The bot continue deliver the profit. That's what we basically want to do. Okay, so that's what I want to build basically. Okay, now the great thing that I really want to really applaud, Bitcoin actually have already break the all-time high. Okay, so our previous all-time high about 109. Okay, 109,000. Currently, we are now trading at about 111,000. All right. So that simply means, right, Bitcoin is currently in the price discovery mode because we have never been above all-time high. All right. So we are in the price discovery mode. and anything is possible, guys, at this moment. But also, I want to warn the team to be very careful. If you are planning to actually go in to buy to hold, I think high likely this is not the place to do so. All right, you might want to wait for the correction to take place, and later on you might want to do DCA. If you are planning to hold, then you can buy smaller amount every week or every month, or you can use JDXBOT to earn Bitcoin, all right, and hold that Bitcoin until the next cycle, and then you can sell it. Okay, as I always say, I think Obong will always remind people, right? Remember, I think 3 years ago, I did a program called One Household, One Bitcoin, One Household, One Family, One Bitcoin, One Family, One Bitcoin. Those of you remember that can put in the chat room, right? So I remember I was telling people to buy Bitcoin, smaller amount, do DCA, so that every family will have one Bitcoin. So if some of you would have done that, I think a lot of you probably would have become millionaire by now, right? Even with one Bitcoin, you could actually already have few 100,000 by now, you see. So that could actually probably help you to pay off your debt. You could be free financially and so on, okay? So don't underestimate the power of dollar cost averaging, all right? Don't ever underestimate. And definitely in the long run, Bitcoin has a lot more upside, okay? A lot more upside with the institution coming in. But I believe there will be a lot more volatility too, okay? So if you look from the weekly, right? From the weekly, Bitcoin is still strong, right? You can see still strong. It can even push. I'm looking at somewhere around 115,000 also, right? If Bitcoin can hit this level, so if you look at this level, right? This level comes all the way from April 2021. Bitcoin hit all-time high, and then it retrieved, and then it went back again to retest the all-time high after about 5 months, right? April to November. Can you see that? And then we saw the massive, correction took place. This is like from 2021 all the way to 2022. That is about one to 1.5 year correction, all right, took place. And then we saw Bitcoin actually went up from 2023, right? 2023, it went up all the way. So nothing goes up all the way forever, guys. So please be very careful. All right, with a lot of narrative now is because of the institution, right, coming in, and because of that, people are going in to buy Bitcoin. But also, please understand that there will be correction taking place. Okay, so in the event of corrections, right? In the event of correction, I think high likely Bitcoin can hit around 100 and around 100 and probably 115 or 114,000, right? We could probably see a correction. Okay, now please understand, if Bitcoin goes all the way up without correction, that is not healthy. So Bitcoin has to correct. So if the Bitcoin can correct somewhere around, I think the immediate correction I'm looking at probably about 104. All right, if Bitcoin can come back and correct 104, and maybe it will go and retest again and make another high, and then only we can see a massive dump coming down, right? So that is basically what I'm expecting to see, right? Because when the price comes down, even if we look at the, let me quickly bring you to the liquidation. So if we look into the liquidation, right, we do have a lot of liquidity around 105 and 104. All right, so that will be high likely, right? Bitcoin can even revisit and grab this liquidity, all right, grab this liquidity, and then it can go up there to retest. Now, in terms of the greed, okay, if you look into the fear and greed, we are currently at the greed range zone, okay? So if this greed range start to increase further and fall into the extreme greed, all right, extreme greed is, I think it's about 80 and above, right? So if it start to fall into extreme greed and greed, then you can expect for sell-off to start to take place, all right? So please understand, okay, so these are basically the rule, right? When everyone is fearful, you go and buy. When everyone is greedy, right, you must sell, okay? So this is important, right? This is what Warren Buffett said, right? When everyone is fearful, you must go in to buy. When everyone is greedy, it's time for you to get ready. Don't go in and follow the greedy to buy, okay? Because this greed are created by the institution, high likely, and they want everyone to become greedy too. So while everyone is greedy, you should understand that some people are going to start to sell. All right. So this is an important indicator for you to understand what is really happening, in terms of Bitcoin price and what I'm expecting in terms of Bitcoin price. So far, I think JDXBOT is holding strong. We have done quite a number of DCA. So if the price reverses to 104 or even 106, 105, I think a lot of the position will close in a huge profit. All right, huge profit. So that is what we really want. Okay, that is what I'm really expecting to take place. So actually, if you ask me, right, I really love to see market go against us, because when market go against us, that's where we make more money. Because when the market go against us, that's where the DCA takes place. But the thing is that not everyone think like me, because they are thinking about technical analysis. So if you are technical person, your belief system can be different than mine. All right. But those of you who has been with my mentorship program, you will think like a warrior, right? So you may see things differently, because this is what we learn in the mentorship program, right? So we are taking in a tactical strategic approach rather than a technical strategy approach. Okay, so that's why I love to see if Bitcoin go against me, because if it goes against me and that is its first DCA, second DCA, third DCA, the position size is increasing while the entry price is coming closer. And when the market reverses, right, you can start to see huge profit. All right. So I'm not so sure how many of you sees the way I see, but if you agree with me, right, put up there in the chat room. That will be really awesome to see your perspective too. Okay, because I know that not everyone actually sees the way I see things. Okay, but it is good if you are learning. Okay, be open. If you are good, it is good to learn. Okay, but this week I think we have seen a lot of USDT, right? USDT close open. Okay, please understand that. I think this week USDT is one of the best performing coin. Okay, one of the best performing asset, followed by USDC, because BTC is under maintenance. So USDC currently, I think there is floating already fourth DCA. All right, fourth DCA. So if Bitcoin drop, I tell you that's going to be huge profit. Okay, so just hang on there. And also take your time to understand how JDXBOT works. Okay, that is important. All right. Okay. Now let's get back to the slide. Okay. So so that just to give you some idea about the market itself. Okay, I don't want to go detail giving you upside, downside target, and so on. I think it may not be really relevant at this time because Bitcoin already in the price discovery, and also since it is all done automatically, right? So I don't want to give you too much information that is actually not really relevant for you, because you are not doing any manual trading, right? So now, the other important topic is the subscription renewal. Okay, let me explain to you guys how these things work so that you understand how the subscription renewal standard of JDXBOT. Okay, now please understand. Okay, we have a subscription renewal notification standard. Okay, so if you look into it, we will send out the first email 3 months prior to expiration of your strategy. All right, so this is a reminder. So 3 months before your strategy expire, you will receive the first email. All right, you can ignore this email. It doesn't matter, right? Because it's only 3 months. You still have a lot of time to get ready. So what we are doing is that we are just preempting you earlier so that you can start to prepare your fund or whatever. So if you want to renew, okay? And then the second email will go out 2 months prior to expiration if you have not renewed. All right, then the second month, another reminder. Then the third email will be 1 month prior to expiration of your strategy. Okay, now after that, right? After that, I think it will be quite urgent because you may not have much time. But after that, I believe that most people will start to renew, right? After the 1 month, I think they will already start to renew. So the fourth email will go out 2 weeks prior to expiration. The fifth email, 7 days prior to expiration. And if you still don't respond, that means high likely you are no longer interested. with JDXBOT, and you will just let go this strategy, right? Because you may not really want to renew. So in that case, the last email will be the bot deactivation. Your subscription will expire. Okay. Now, some people ask me question: if I renew 3 months, then what happens to my 3 months? Don't worry. Okay. If you renew 3 months before the expiration, your total will be 13 months, because remember, when you renew is 1 year, right? So you will get 12 months, and whatever month that is still available will be added to the 12 months. So your total will be 13 months. You understand me? So you lose nothing by renewing early. You lose nothing. Please understand that. Okay. So if you renew 2 months prior to expiration, then 12 plus 2 months, your total will be 14 months. Okay, but please understand that the renewal will only open 3 months prior to expiration. So if you say, I want to renew now, can I do it? You can't renew now until you receive the first email. So when you receive the first email, that means that your purchase strategy, right, in your JDXBOT is now unlocked. You can go and renew. So we only open that 3 months before your expiration. Okay, so please understand that. So if I bring you into the back office, right? Let me just bring you into the back office. So this is the back office, right? So you will see, for example, right? You see, I have a countdown here. I can see mine is like 29 days. Okay, this is our R&D bot. Okay, so it's like 29 days. That means yesterday I received an email, because this is like 1 month before the expiration. All right, so I received the email. So if I go to my purchase strategy, you can see, look at this, okay? Look at this. See that this button is now already disabled. Okay, it is now enabled. Sorry, enabled. You can now choose to go and renew. Okay, so this is open 3 months. Okay, 3 months before the expiration, your strategy purchase will be enabled. So now you can choose. You can choose. So you can see at the bottom, right? You see there's nothing here. This is your invoice, right? So if I choose, let's say I go and renew the 3. If I choose the 3, you can see now my invoice 250, and I can choose to pay from my balance. If you are referring people and you have an amount in your back office, you can use pay from balance, or you can pay from crypto. If you choose crypto, then remember, okay, you can actually pay using USDT TRC20, USDT Polygon. So if you want cheaper, I think Polygon is 20 cents, right? The transaction cost, okay, the blockchain fees, the network fees. TRC20 is $1. So that's why we added Polygon, so that you do not need to pay high fees when you want to renew. So you can use USDT Polygon. Some of you want to use USDC, you can even use USDC Polygon. So we have provided you with these 3 options when come to the crypto payment, okay? So, or you want to use a PayPal, you can use PayPal, or you want to use credit or debit card, you can even use that to make the payment. But please understand, if you are using PayPal and credit card, there will be 10% fees applied, right? 10% fees apply when you are using these services, because these services, the fees are very, very high. Okay, please take note. So I hope you understand, okay? Because some people, they say, I received the email, but where am I, how to go and renew, right? Because they might not have read the email properly. I believe so, right? So if I bring you back, right? If I bring you back to the email, sorry, to the email. So now the other thing is that please understand that if your strategy expires, right? Let's say you receive 6 email, your bot already deactivated. So if your strategy expires, you will no longer be eligible for referral commission. So if you are building your team, make sure that your strategy is always active. Okay, so if your strategy is inactive, then you won't be enjoying the referral commission. So don't make this mistake, and then you lose your referral commission, because even if you reach the support, we will not be able to assist you, because this is a policy. Okay, so only those strategies that are active will continue to enjoy the referral commissions. Okay, so before your downline start to renew, make sure you renew your strategy first. Okay, that is important. So now this is the sample email. Can you see that? Like this example, I received this because our R&D bot is now expires in 1 month. Can you see that? We got 1 month, right? But the most important, people ask question about, so how do I renew that? You can see, right? To renew your strategy, these are the steps. So the steps to renew is already provided in the email itself. So you need to log in to your JDXBOT back office, and then you navigate to the purchase strategy section as I showed you earlier, right? So this is your purchase strategy section. You see that? This is the purchase strategy section. You got your dashboard. You go to purchase strategy section, and then you choose, okay, tick the strategy that you want to renew. So normally, if you already have 3, you will tick 3. Okay, if you already have 2, you will tick 2. Or sometimes when you want to renew, you may even want to tick all the 3. But it depends because it will only open up based on the expiration. Okay, please take note. Okay, so once you have navigate to the purchase strategy section, then you select the appropriate strategy by ticking the purchase checkbox. Can you see that? And then you scroll down to choose your preferred payment method and complete the purchase. Upon successful payment, you will receive a renewal confirmation email. And also, right? And also, please understand, you can go back to the dashboard and check your countdown. Your countdown will be updated. So instead of 29 days, probably now it will go back to 365 days or 400 days, depend on the days that you still have, right? Because if it's 365 days times 20 plus 29, so your countdown now will be more. Okay, please understand that. So this is how you basically, manage your renewal. Okay. So I hope this is clear. Okay. So I hope this is clear. So when you're receiving the email, all right, when you receive the email, now you understand, okay, how is our standard and why we actually remind you much earlier. So the first reminder, the moment we remind you 3 months, that means that your purchase strategy page is now open and you can already proceed to go and renew. All right. So please understand that. Okay. So I hope this is helpful. Okay. This is helpful. Now, the other important thing that I want to cover is the improvement that we have done to the position ratio control and also the estimate liquidation price. Okay, let me just explain to you guys. Okay, because previously I've explained how these things works, right? But I just want to focus on the improvement just to give you an update so that every one of you know the improvement that we are doing. Okay, to JDXBOT. Now, if you look over here, right? We have the A and the B. Now, please understand that at JDXBOT, if you see, we always open dual position. Now, dual position is a hedging position. So at JDXBOT, we only use hedging position. So, but if you look into the hedging position, the position size, okay, will be different. So in this example, you see the bot actually buy down. We buy short, okay, because we identify the direction of the market is actually down. So we buy down. So you can see that the position size is always greater than the hedging position. So when we buy down, you can see 0.022, okay, in BTC, okay, because we take the margin. The margin here is 47. That is your actual USD, but times with 40x, so your position size after the leverage will be 0.22. So in this example, right, the main position is short. The hedging position is long. So how do you know which is the hedging? The smaller position is always the hedging position. Okay, so now what is the formula, right? So we have the formula here. You see, the position ratio standard must be below 0.03. So if you take A and divide by B, you must make sure that it is 0.3 and below. If it is 0.3 and above, if we close the position, you will be at loss. Can you understand me? So this is the rule that we have created for the hedging position, for the hedging strategy for JDXBOT. Okay, so please understand this is nothing outside that. Okay, this is what we created based on our experience and based on our expertise. Okay, now what are the changes that we have done? Okay, now previously what we did was at the point of closing the position, JDXBOT algorithm will check the ratio. So if the ratio is above 0.3, your position will not close. Okay, so we plan to do it when at the point of closing the position. But we have changed that. Okay, we have changed that. So what we are doing now is that at every DCA and hedging, JDXBOT will inspect the position ratio. So we are inspecting the ratio much earlier during every DCA. So in this way, we can detect any problem with the ratio and we can make sure your ratio is below 0.3 so that when we close the position, all the position will close in profit. Okay, so you can understand me, right? So we don't wait for the last minute to check. We check progressively when the DCA is done. Okay, now for position ratio above 0.3, right? So when we check, let's say the first DCA takes place, we check, and if it's above 0.3, JDXBOT will automatically regulate the ratio. How do we do that? We will add order. So that's why make sure, okay, you can see the available balance here, right? We have the available balance. We also have the sub account. So we will use the available balance in your main account to add order to the main position so that when we add order, the ratio now will be below 0.3 and then we will close this position in profit. Can you understand me? So in this manner, right, everyone's position will close in profit. So you do not need to worry whether your position will close in loss or not. So this is the reason why make sure your sub account, okay, because when we use your main account to do the add order or DCA, right, we do the DCA, then your main account may reduce, right? So then we can immediately replenish using the sub account. That's why, as I mentioned, right, if you are starting your sub account with 50%, think about increasing it to 100%. Okay, because the more fund you have in the sub account, it will ultimately help you actually. All right. So now I hope, okay, I hope you guys are happy. Okay, you guys are in favor of this improvement that we are doing, because so in this manner, right, we can also prevent the technical glitches, because in this manner the bot will not close if it is above 0.3. All right, ratio. Okay, so this is important. Okay, so I hope, okay, I hope some of these intelligent improvement that we are doing will add significant benefit to our global user. Okay, now the other improvement that we have done is that previously, right, remember, okay, previously we had a floating position. So when we had a floating position, we were not in place to actually control at 20,000 points. But the reason technical glitches seems like a blessing too, because all the positions are mainly closed, and because the position closed, now we can start all over again. So because now we can start all over again, please understand that the estimate liquidation price, okay, now is controlled at 20,000 points. So that simply means, okay, that simply means when the liquidation price fall below 20,000 points from the mark price, JDXBOT will automatically regulate it back into above 20,000 range. Okay, so this is an auto trailing with the market price. All right, so it means that we will make sure, okay, JDXBOT algorithm will make sure that your liquidation is always 20,000 points away from the mark price. Mark price is your market price. So in this manner, right, even if Bitcoin price, example, now is 111,000. So 20 plus 20,000, your position will be always ahead 20,000 than the market price. So it is almost impossible to get liquidated. So this is a powerful, okay, a liquidation mitigation strategy that we have actually put in place in order. So that's why if you look, right, a lot of your position, you will see in the event we do the DCA, and as we do the DCA, we do the hedging in case if your position estimate liquidation price is below 20,000, you do not need to worry because every 20 minutes, the algorithm will check your estimate liquidation price, and every 20 minutes, it will push your liquidation price above 20,000. Okay, so this is the two important improvement that we have done after the recent technical glitches. Okay, because we want to improve the bot performance. We also want to, make sure that that things are safe so that it doesn't close. Okay, when it above 0.3, and at the same time, we also want to make sure that the position estimate liquidation is controlled 20,000 points from the market price itself. Okay, so this is I think it's a very important safeguarding point. Okay, for the futures trading, right? Because not many people know about this secret that we are building here at JDXBOT. But these are all because of the years of experience using leverage trading for the futures, right? So, and these experiences is what allow us, okay, to be able to put in. And I thank God for the technical team because they are able to take this idea, this improvement, and actually convert it into an algorithm and embed it into JDXBot. Now, that takes a lot of skill, okay, to do that. And those who understand programming, they can actually do it. But the good thing is that my programmer, right, is also basically been mentored by me, and he also know how to use JD Wealth Maker strategy. And because of that, it is easier for me to communicate with my technical team because they know the expectation and they know what we are looking at. Okay, so so this is an important insight that I want to leave with the team so that you know that, okay, we are continuously improving. This is, I think, one of the trademark of JD Wealth Maker because markets are dynamic. So when markets are dynamic, we have to keep improving. All right, we have to keep making things better and better. Not only we are looking at safeguarding users' position, we are looking even at improving the profitability, right? So the next time, okay, when you hear me, right, you will be hearing me from maybe another aspects of it because now we, after the recent technical glitches, right, we are looking at ways how we can compensate our global users, okay, how we can compensate by. So one of the best way to do that is to increase the profitability of the bot. So you might be hearing from me some good news. We are still doing some R&D with some of the improvement idea. And if that R&D works well, then I'm actually looking at probably another 20 or 30% increment with the bot performance in terms of profitability. So that will be, I think, powerful because if we can manage and safeguard the position, and at the same time, we are also able to deliver a much greater profitability, that means the ROI will be much faster. All right, the speed of earning will be much faster. Okay, and that can really help to compensate our global users and so on. Okay, so that is a very important insight over there. Okay, that I want to leave with you during this AMA session so that you understand exactly. So now you know, right? The renewal, how the renewal actually work. That is the policy, our policy that we have set up for the renewal. And now you also understand some of the continuous improvement that we are actually doing. So in the next session, right, I will be talking more about the profitability aspects of the bot, and then I will show you how that will be taking place so that that can create, I think that will be able to create a lot of excitement, right? Because when you start to see profitabilities are increasing, that can actually add significant value to our users. Okay, so that will be exciting. All right. So I hope you guys are blessed. Let me just see if there is any questions here. Okay. Can I transfer renewal fee to strategy wallet and pay from the wallet? Renewal fee. No, I think, right, what you can do, because please understand, okay, if you are using your strategy wallet and you do a withdrawal, you are going to pay $5. I think the fees will be very, very high. So I would advise, please, okay, make sure, I think the best, use your BitGet, to do the renewal, because you can choose either you want to do TRC20 or Polygon, right? Your USDT Polygon. I think that will be better and also straightforward. Okay, much easier. Okay, so rather than using strategy wallet, but you can transfer from BitGet, from anywhere into the strategy wallet. But I would advise you, don't. Maybe it is not a good idea to transfer out from the strategy wallet because the fees will be high. Okay, so you might consider that input. Okay, great. No, I think this is a good question, right? Thank you so much for this question. Great improvement, as potential glitches will be avoided. With the position ratio improvement, does it mean account can be as low as 100? No, the account will still maintain minimum 200. Okay, please take note, because the account maintenance is actually nothing to do with the position ratio. It is basically the limitation we have with BitGet. Okay, so that is the reason why we have actually increased from 100 to 200 to make sure that there is what to say, there is a much higher amount in the main account to prevent some of these technical issues related to bigger requirement. Okay, so it will maintain, but I think 200 is good because user will make more profit. And on top of that, the sub account calculation is easier, right? It's 50% of 200, which is 100. All right, minimum, right? 50%. So there is no changes to that. Okay, just take note. Okay. Yes, Victor, please unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for the great work you're doing so far. Just to ask, is there a way to see what the take profit is? What is set at? Because I was looking at the chart. I see the hedge positions just like you've explained, but is there any way of knowing at what price those positions will close? All right, that's the first question. The second question is also to increase profitability. Are you considering reducing the percentage of 30/70 to maybe 20/80 at some point, maybe when we have a lot of people in this? Because recognize that the folks that, excuse me, the folks that have invested in this are the ones that are exposed, right? I know the bot is doing a great job. However, it is the investors that are exposed. So my thought was, if you were to increase profitability, maybe that's something to consider if that's something you plan to do in future. Thank you.
Okay, I think these two questions is a great question, right? The first thing is regarding how you can actually check in terms of your closing positions and so on. I think those things you can check in your own BitGet app. You can go to, I think it's under the trading. Let me see if I can share that over here. Okay. Just give me a minute. Let me share that. So if you have your BitGet app or you are using a browser, it doesn't matter, right? So if you go, you see the good thing is that these are all independence report. Okay, so that's the reason why we don't put any of this report in our back office in JDXBOT, because you can have access directly to this BitGet, right? So I want to go maybe to USDT, right? Because we just had a USDT position closed. So if you look at this mark over here, right? You see that if you tap this, you see close all, right? Above that, there is this icon. You tap this icon, it will then bring you into this page. So you can see your position history there. So in the position history, you can actually see the detail, the open time, the close time, the close value, the entry price, and the exit price. So all the details are there. So as I mentioned to you, right, this is the hedging. You can see that when we close the short position, $3.4, and the hedging position is 1.0. So if you take the net of this, you are still profit. Can you see that? We are still profit about 2 point something, right? So that is what is hedging all about. So when we close, we are looking at the net profit. So we don't care whether we got losses or not, as long as the net profit. So you can also check your trade details over there. You can see all the trade details. These are inclusive of the DCA and hedging. Everything will be there, right? So this is where you can check the details over there. Now, the other thing is that if you go to your asset, right, underneath the asset, then you go to futures, and then you can go to the P&L. So this is where you check your trading P&L. So you can see, right, we have been doing well with this week for USDT bot. So, but I'm interested to look into the trading analysis, okay, trading analysis. So if you take the trading analysis and I look into the 7 days there, now what you can see, right? Yes, it's great, right? We are making good money here, but the concern here will be your P&L ratio. Can you see that? So the P&L ratio is 3.69, which is very good. So that means for every dollar I lost, I made $3.69. All right, so this is a very important. Okay, win rate is not important. Please understand that. Even if somebody claim they make 90%, the 10% losses can even be greater than the 90% win rate. All right, so our focus here, we have a 50%. Why? Because it's a hedging, right? We win 13, we lose 13. But our ratio, P&L ratio, is we actually win close to 4 times. Can you see that? So I lost 1, I make 3, right? So that is powerful, okay? So that is our goal here. Okay, so look into the position P&L ratio. P&L ratio is more accurate and more important than the win rate. Win rate can be deceiving, but P&L ratio cannot deceive you. If you are lost, you are lost. Okay, so this is where you can actually check the details over there, right? So I hope that what to say? No, for live trade you can't see because you have not closed that, right? Because we don't have a fixed because we closed at ROE 35%. So if your main, we got the hedging position and the main position, right? So the main position is always ROE 35%. All right. So then only we will close. So if you look, for example, right, at the same thing that I was showing you earlier, and if we look into, let's go to the trade here, right? So we have this USDC, which is currently, I think it is already 4 at order. So if you look right over here, the smaller amount is hedging, the bigger amount is the main position. So the main position ROE is now minus 166. So it will not close, right? Because it is now minus, right? So what will happen if the market reverse? So the reverse entry price here is 107. So that means if the price now reverse and comes to 107 and the ROE becomes 35%, it will close both positions at once. Okay, it will close at a huge profit because my position ratio is now 0.01 over 0.002. Can you see that? So that is how it works. So we don't have a determined take profit. We do not need to do that. Okay, we don't have to do that. Okay, because we are basically doing a dynamic trading using a hedging strategy. Okay, so this is I think this explanation will be helpful. Okay, for the team. Okay, so I hope this is helpful. Now the next question that was asked is that in terms of the profitability improvement that we are doing, right? So I think what we want to do is that we want to improve the bot performance profitability, which probably you will be hearing very soon what we're going to do. Now, is there a plan to reduce our profit sharing from 30% to 20%? We got no plan because we started with 40%. How many of you remember that? We started 60-40, and then we actually reduced to 70-30. Okay. Now, I think the more appropriate question to ask is, why 30%? Okay, now I want to explain this so that every one of you is aware what we are doing and the future module that we're going to introduce. Now, please understand that currently you are earning 70-30. 70% is a net profit. Okay, please understand that. Net profit after minus all the fees. So it's a very high earning, right? The other second thing is that we also have the referral commissions, right? So referral commission is a separate thing. Now, the next module that we are building with our developer is the referral reward program. So what is this? What is this all about? Now, a referral reward program is, if you have a referral, you have people under you that are trading in your hierarchy, okay, because you got level 1, level 2, right? That is unlimited. You can have level 1, level 2, you can have unlimited, all right? So now, anyone in your hierarchy, right? It can be level 3, level 4, it doesn't matter, okay? But anyone in your hierarchy, we will then actually monitor the total strategy fee that is deducted. Now, please understand, strategy fee is the real revenue, right? That JDXBOT is earning and users are earning. So from that 30% strategy fee, the company is deciding to allocate, okay, the certain profit sharing from that 30% back into the referral reward program. So now, based on the amount of the strategy fee that is deducted, because remember, strategy fees are only deducted when there is profit. So now, based on the amount, there will be a ranking. There will be a ranking either level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. And based on that ranking, our users will actually be earning partners referral reward from the 30% we may allocate, might be 5 or 10%, profit sharing into this reward program. So that means, right, everyone who is trading under you, every month, okay, every month we will close the account and we will calculate the total strategy fee that is deducted, and based on that, certain profit sharing will be shared. Isn't that awesome, right? So we do this because we want to give back to the community, but we did not plan to do it much earlier because we are still early. All right, the group, even the referral is will take some time for the people to refer. So what are the things that drive the strategy fee? Only two things, right? Number one is the users. Number two is actually the asset. So the bigger the asset that is being traded, the more the strategy fee. So the bigger the strategy fee deducted, the more the profit sharing will go. So we might have like different level, right? Maybe level 1, if the strategy fee in a month is 5,000 to 10,000, the user will enjoy how much profit sharing. Level 2 might be 10,000 to 20,000. You will enjoy how much profit sharing. So it can go on to about 3 or 4 level. Okay, can you see that? So what happens now? This is like a group reward given to the team to appreciate them because they are building their group, but it is not an MLM concept. Can you see that? There is no MLM here, no unilevel, no nothing, right? So in this way, right, it becomes more like a partners referral reward program, and that reward program goes on a monthly basis. So now, please understand, okay? This is huge, guys. Come on. Huge, okay? When it comes to strategy fee deduction and you are earning a reward, this can be huge. Even a 5% profit sharing from JDXBOT can be huge, okay? So So now you're earning high likely daily, right? Daily from the trading, because we don't have a fixed return, right? So you can earn as much you want from the trading, or sometimes you have to wait, okay, for the bot to close the position. So you are earning from trading. Number two, you are earning from the referral commission. Level 1, 20%, level 2, 30%. So your referral commission is 30%. And every month, you are also going to earn a partners reward program. So imagine that, right? So you are going to enjoy, I think this is going to be a massive, great reward, right? For the team, because you're going to actually enjoy the referral reward program. Okay, so please understand that. Okay, so I think that will be the best way to go about it, because I know that users who are building their team, they want to be rewarded. So the best way to do is a partners referral reward program, where we allocate the real revenue and then we channel that revenue back into our global team. Okay, so please understand that. Okay, so I think, yeah, you are right. That's better than 2080, because you will be earning, because please understand, 2080 is depend whether the bot closes or not. But referral reward program, it depends on the total asset your team is trading under you. So imagine every time they increase the asset, you are going to benefit from it, because they are under your hierarchy, right? So in this manner, it will actually really encourage, because you are really rewarded well from the strategy fee. Now, the other thing is that please understand, right? Why we use a strategy fee? Because strategy fee is a real revenue. So in this way, JDXBOT is sustainable, because we don't need to take users' money, and pay this is not a Ponzi scheme, right? A Ponzi will do that. That's why they are not sustainable. So we use the real strategy fee. So if this month, this is the strategy fee, we allocate certain percentage, and then we reward the partners. I think that will be awesome. Okay, so that is our plan. So I hope now you understand why we are doing what we are doing. Previously, we decided 40% because we want to give more. But during the beta testing and the soft launch, our users said, "Doctor, 40%, can you reduce it to 30%? So we actually listen to the users and we reduce it to 30%. So that means when we do the reward program, the company will have less. Okay, now please understand, guys, if the company is sustainable, the program is sustainable. Okay, if you kill the goose that is laying the golden egg, then every one of us are dead. So do your best to take care of us, okay? Because we are the one providing you the strategy. So if we are doing well financially, then we can actually build a lot more different solution. And also, that we want to build another 2 more bot, right? The swapping bot and the DCA bot, right? So all these things need revenue, right? So if we don't have the revenue, we can't be really moving forward freely. Okay, so take care of us, do your best. Okay, that's why I'm telling people, come on, the time to renew, just renew, because you don't know how much we need those funds, right? So if those revenues are coming in, it will really help us a lot. Okay, so just take note of that. Okay, so but nevertheless, thank you, Victor. This is a great question, and I hope, right, you understand our intention and what we want to do for the community. Okay, despite all the challenges, right, it is fine. Challenges are good because it makes us better. Okay, it actually makes us more mature. But despite the challenges, we still want to continue to empower the ordinary people and bless our community. Okay, so just take note of that. Okay, great. Okay, the last improvement initiate partial profit. Okay, we have not implemented this, right? So that's why I told you that we are actually doing some R&D on this, because see, when we do things right, we need to make sure every ground is covered. So I will be coming back to you guys. I think we have the partial profit taking, and we also have another improvement that I'm going to do in order to increase the profitability, because we are looking at ways how we can compensate our user, right? From the reason glitches. So we are looking at ways how we can compensate the users forever by embedding the solution into the bot. Is that sounds good? All right, so it means forever you will be earning from the bot. Okay, so something that we are thinking along that way. Okay, so I think you need to hang on there for a while, okay, until we come up with those strategy. Then I think it will be awesome, because then you will start to see probably, another 20-30% extra profit that is coming in from the bot. I think that will be awesome. And then we don't want to do just once, right? I want to do something forever. Okay, so it means the moment we implement it, you will enjoy it forever, right? As long as JDXBOT is there. I think that will be much better. Do you think so? That will be cool, right? All right, so that is something that we want to do, okay? So just take note of that. Okay. Yes, Aruna, please unmute yourself. I think I will take one or two more and then we will end, okay? I think it's getting exciting, right? Yes, go ahead, Aruna.
Well done. Confirm that you can hear me, JD.
Yes, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
My question goes like this. Please, I don't know if once you receive the email for 6 times for the notification to reactivate the account, what of if he was not able to meet up and the times elapsed and he was deactivated? Did he have any chance to come back again and resubscribe again?
Yeah, that's right. There is no issue about it. Even if you receive 6 email and your bot is deactivated, you can still resubscribe again. No problem. The only issue here is that if you have downline, you won't be earning any commissions, and so on, right? That is the implication. Another thing is that, you see, once you are deactivated, when you come back, right, there is a lot more other things the technical team has to make sure done to your bot to get you back into the trading. So to eliminate those kind of technical things, it is better to just renew before the bot is deactivated, right? So I think that's the best. So why do we send 3 months email? Because we know people will tend to forget. So that's why we send 3 months. We open up the purchase strategy page so that people can start to renew, and then we keep reminding you. So imagine, right? I don't think so. I think JDXBOT probably the first one sending 6 emails reminding you, from 3 months, 2 months, 1 month, right? I don't think so. Even Microsoft don't do that. Okay, so just take note. Okay, so there is no issue. If you really are not able to and you get deactivated, don't worry. Okay, we never discriminate anyone, and you can still actually subscribe. Your bot, your back office is still there. You can still log in. Everything is fine. Okay, so just go log in, go to your purchase strategy, just renew, right? So simple as that. Okay, I hope I answer your question, Haruna. Okay, great, guys. Yeah, I hope. Okay, I hope today's session has been beneficial. Okay, to each and every one of you. I trust that you were blessed, and I'm the thing that really make me happy when come to AMA session is questions from you guys. Okay, because you see that. Okay, some of these questions actually add real value. Okay, to the team, right? Because if you don't ask, you don't get it. Okay, I can have all those knowledge in my head. I can't give you because I don't know what you want. All right, so it is always good for you to be ready to ask those questions. Okay, so so that is great. Okay, so I hope you guys are blessed. Okay, so if you are blessed, put up that in the chat room, and we will catch up again next week. Okay, so next week no Ama. Yes, Obong. So we take one more. Yes, Obong. Please go ahead, and then we will end this presentation here.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, doctor. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever we are.
Yeah,
Doctor,
good day.
you may need to check. It's like your chat is only restricted to you because the questions people are asking, it looks like other participants are not seeing it. I don't know if it's happening to only me. And I noticed the one I sent also is coming to you only, so you may need to check your setting.
No worries about. I think in the next section I will check the setting there.
Yeah. So thank you for all you do. We really appreciate the improvement opportunities that is going on, and whatever, like I always say, whatever is the distraction, please, we want you to keep forging ahead. We are here to support you, encourage you in whatever you are doing, because this is uh, helping humanity. That's what you are doing, and I am 100% sure all the team members on this call, definitely they will have other dependents that will depend on them, on the progress of this JDXBOT. So we really appreciate, and we want you to keep doing the best that you can. Thank you so much. We really appreciate. God bless you.
Yeah, you are most welcome, Obong. Truly appreciate, the continuous support from the team. So, guys, as I always mention, right, it's important that we understand that this is a partnership. So, I know that a lot of programs are looking for clients, they want users, but maybe the concept that I have is different, because I'm really looking for partners. Only partners will stand with us. So, the solution we are building is actually not outside that, right? It is customized. It is a sole proprietary solution only for our partners. So we are doing our best, and the continuous, trust, the support from our partners is actually fueling that, that encouragement in us to continue to do what we are doing. We are not perfect, I would say. Okay, we do have mistakes, we do have glitches, which is normal. All right, but because of that doesn't mean we should give up. Okay, this you see that looking back from the beta testing up to now, I think our partners can testify, right, how things has improved compared to where we were before. All right, so that is important. So that's why, as partners, right, look at the progress and see what we are doing, and support us the best that you could, so that because everything that you are doing here, right, the revenue that is coming in, the renewal that you are doing, the asset that you are putting in, all these things are actually indirectly or directly helping JDXBOT. Okay, so I just want you to know that, because we don't have venture capitalists or investors coming in, putting the money, helping us. No. Okay, I put all my money that I have into this solution, and now the company, I bless the company first, and now the company will start to bless us. So it's always, that is how it works when you are the founder and the owner of the company. Okay, so I thank God for God's empowerment, into my life. And I had this vision to create, and I know that like Obong and a few of you keep telling me, John, we need this solution, we need this automated solution, right? So I want you to know, guys, that I may not be ready when you told me 2 or 3 years ago, but I did listen to you. Okay, I did hear your cry, I did hear your desire. Although I don't have the technical expertise those years when you asked me, but there was a dream, right? There was this vision that one day I will make. So you saw me in my presentation, I already speak, I prophesy, I keep telling, that one day we're going to create this, one day we're going to create this. So if you believe your dream, keep speaking it, because one day, whatever you spoke will come back to you. Okay, keep speaking it into your life. You never know the power of this positive word that you are actually declaring, right? So today here we are, right? We have a bot, that is really delivering good result. I think it's exceptional result. If you can get 1% a day, all right, if you can make even 20% a month, or 30 or 40% a month, just imagine that. All right, and we don't control, right? We don't control your earnings. You earn as much you want. It doesn't matter. All right. So I think that is completely different, because we are not an MLM. We don't control by packages, nothing, right? $250, you earn as much you want for the whole 365 days. Again, dependent on the total asset that you have and the performance of the bot. Simple as that. Let's make things simple for our people, and let's not complicate things. Okay, that is my goal. Okay, So I don't want to use people to profit, but I want to empower people so that they can enjoy the profit, and by them profiting, the company will also flourish. Okay, so that's the whole idea of it. Okay, so thank you guys. Truly appreciate your partnership. Okay, stay with us. All right, we are not perfect, as I mentioned to you. Stay with us because you can see what we are doing is transparent. We never hide anything. Even if there's a problem, I will communicate with you in the Telegram group. So we try to be transparent. We try to help each and every one of you. Okay. So do encourage, do introduce JDXBOT. Bring in as many people. We got 300 spots. Okay, we got 300 spots only for 300 users. So let's use up the let's try to hit that 300 together. Okay, and then we will close for any new sign up until we further improve the infrastructures and so on. Then we will open up for maybe another 300. Okay, so that is the goal. Okay, so so currently we are trading about, I think, close to $100,000 asset value. So my goal is that if we can hit 300 users, my goal is to actually to trade $1 million asset under management. That is the goal. So you can see in our homepage. Okay, I think we are now, after the glitches, right? We are now back close to 100,000 by God's grace. So, and I think with what we are doing now, we can hit probably 10x, right? We can go for 1 million. That would be really awesome. Just imagine, right? 1 million asset under management and how much profit we are generating for our global users. Now that will be really powerful. Okay, because we want to change not only your life, but your family. And one day, right? One day, by God's grace, high likely your family will change your community. All right, so that is the vision that we have, right? And that is possible by God's grace. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for your time. Truly appreciate it. See you on Tuesday next week for our business preview, right? So take care. God bless you all.